Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbe, here on the YouTube channel, Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom. So nice to have you here. For those of you who are live with us this Tuesday evening, nice to have you in the house. And if you're watching the recording, you're still in the energy no matter when you're watching, which is always such a sweet and wonderful thing. So, hi, everyone. I wanted to remind everyone how we do our Soul Connections show, which is it's all about you. It's helping you to reconnect with that center of yourself, that part of you that is your soul, what it's yearning to say, express, and also the guidance and the wisdom from your angels, your guides, your ancestors, the star beings, who I lovingly call your team. I think of us as everyone having their own team, and we get to call on them when we need them, see who needs to be up at bat or the designated hitter at the moment. And so to do that, we start by clearing our energy, clearing the week, the life that we've had recently, and just really getting in that grounded, open space where we can receive and we can hear what's coming through. And part of that is, clear away that gunk during our meditation. Strengthen our chakras and our aura so that we're more resilient. And then we let the messages come in. And you may receive your own messages from your team, which is wonderful because when we come together, they often pop through. And you can also ask for a message by simply typing in, yes, please. We pull cards for everybody who asks. I make sure that everybody gets a card because there's times when we just want to hear that infinite wisdom, and often it's what we knew all along, but we just like that reinforcement. Even I like that reinforcement when I get that opportunity. So welcome to our show this evening, and our deck tonight is going to be the Peace Oracle, Guidance for Challenging Times, by Toni, Carmine, Salerno. And also Leela Williams. And, it seemed appropriate that the Peace Oracle wanted to be read today, because I think a lot of people are feeling challenges, whether they're health and physical challenges or whether they're having mental difficulty or even just difficulty navigating the current climate that we are living in socially and economically. So, every time we have this challenge, it's an opportunity for us to stretch and grow, but usually doesn't feel great. We all remember growing pains maybe as a kid or a teenager, and they weren't comfortable, but they did help us get to where we wanted to be height-wise. And we have spiritual growing pains, and that is what these challenges are all about. And sometimes, yes, it can be physical pain too. So I invite you guys to just get in a really comfy spot, because we're going to just allow the stress and the tension in our body and in our thoughts and in our emotions to gently dissolve. Okay, so find a way to get comfy as we start our meditation. I'm adjusting for myself. And I invite you to make sure that your arms and your legs are uncrossed, because we want the energy to flow through your body, not get caught anywhere. And just give yourself this moment to turn off your devices, unless it's the one you're watching on, and just allow yourself to be present in this healing space in this moment. All right, so let's get cozy, let's get comfy. Allow whatever is supporting you, the chair, the floor, the bed, just allow it to become part of who you are. Allow it to be the support you need in this moment, giving space to your muscles to gently relax and dissolve the tension, the stress, the tightness that you might be holding on to. I'm just going to invite you to concentrate on your breath. And with each breath, breathe in as deeply as you can that divine healing light. And breathe out any stress, tension, worries, or anxiety that you've been feeling or holding on to. And again, breathe in that divine healing light. And breathe out all the worries, the overwhelm, the frustrations. And breathe in again deeply. And just breathe out anything else that is being held on too tightly. And we're going to take a moment to focus on our heart space in the center of our chest. Feeling into the beauty and the rhythm of its beating, the ebb and flow of energy, oxygen, and blood moving through our system, pulsing through in our own unique rhythm. And within that heart, connecting to our heart chakra, and also the heart chakra of our inner child, and even the heart chakra of our higher self, bringing those all together in one beautiful space in the center of our chest. And as that energy comes together, allowing that heart and welcoming it as it grounds and anchors us, connects us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, all in the same space, in the same time, in the same vibration and frequency. And we're going to ask that lovely heart of ours to begin to ground our energy system, grounding ourselves in love and compassion, acceptance and forgiveness, and beginning by grounding our solar plexus chakra right beneath it, the bottom of our rib cage. And just allowing that loving heart energy to ground and calm our anxieties, our worries, our fears, and frustrations. And any residual anger we've been holding on to, especially the righteous anger. And inviting our organs to cleanse and release all of that emotional energy as well. Letting the muscles in our belly completely relax. Knowing that we are being supported by the surface that holds us. that is infused with the beautiful divine healing light. And moving into our sacral chakra just below the belly button. Asking our heart to ground our emotions, ground all the big feelings we've had, gentling them, bringing balance into our creative flow, the fuel for our inspiration, our creativity. And then also asking the heart to ground our root chakra just below the tailbone. Grounding and centering the energy in the foundation of our being. Sending love and healing through any scarcity energy we have carried. Any sense of lack. The impact of fear and our safety. Sending healing even through our home, or any place that feels like home, allowing us to feel that sacred connection of loving safety and security, even if it is only within our healing energy field. And inviting that energy to reconnect with Grandmother Earth beneath our feet. Inviting that connection, that cord, that reconnects us to our soul mother. In connection to this beautiful planet of Earth. And as we connect to our Earth Star chakra beneath the layers of the Earth, plugging back into the divine feminine energy flow, allowing that to open and expand so that we begin to fill with that nurturing, loving, compassionate energy that soothes our pain, our discomfort, our dis-ease. And as her energy flows back up to us and to our heart, just allowing it to relax all the muscles in our legs and our feet as it moves up, cradling our pelvis, and filling us with all of that divine, juicy energy of the feminine creation. And filling our personal sun and our solar plexus, filling our self-worth, our self-esteem, our self-confidence, so that we may shine our light brightly as a beacon in the darkness for all to see, feel, and experience. And filling into that heart space, filling any disappointment, sadness, or misunderstanding. Creating a cocoon of healing around any grief that we have been holding on to. Smoothing the raw edges of the grief so that we know its presence, but diminishing its sharpness when we interact with it. And sending our heart energy and the divine feminine into the throat. Opening and expanding our abilities for communication. Communication with others, communication with ourselves and with our spiritual team and divine essence. Clearing away any words that were spoken in disharmony, any words that were used as weapons by you or towards you. Opening up space for your unique, beautiful self to shine through. Fully loved, accepted, and held in this moment, as you always are by the divine, loving light. And bringing our heart energy and the divine feminine into our third eye in the center of our forehead. Balancing out our beautiful brain, the logic and the intuition, the knowledge and the wisdom. Making room for all of our senses to work together as a team. Our sight, our hearing, our taste, our touch, even our knowing. Allowing that to connect to our higher self and that deep sense of inner knowing that we have. Opening the pathways of trust, trusting the information that is coming through for us, to us. Learning to trust ourselves deeply so that we can learn to spread trust in every connection that we have with others. Healing the wounded spots within ourselves and our inner child. And sharing that healing with all those we meet, all those we know. And bringing that beautiful energy up into our crown chakra. Opening the beautiful lotus so that the petals are stretched out, in connection to all divine beings of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment. And gently allowing that crystalline energy to move upward, to open and expand our connection to our soul star chakra, the crown of our highest self, allowing the divine flow of the divine masculine to shower down upon us and through us, intertwining with the divine feminine, as it moves up and down and expands out through our entire body and our energy body, the space that we inhabit in this moment, and allowing it to stretch out as far as it's meant to, for the healing energy, the recentering, for the good of all and harm to none. Restoring and repairing our aura in all of its beautiful layers, even out into our past lives, our karma, through the generations that we are connected to. And inviting our spiritual team to join us with words of wisdom, of guidance, words of ease and peace, ways to help us traverse the life that we are experiencing, knowing we are fully supported in each and every moment. And reinforcing the energy of protection around us, around our space that we live in, that we inhabit. So that we feel surrounded and held in this healing light. And we invite in also our crystal allies to help support our healing journey, to assist in any communication we may receive, whether it is in this moment, in the messages, in our dreams, in symbols in the next few days. And we welcome in any communication that is for our highest best. And just gently start to bring your breath back into the room that you are in. Take a couple of deep breaths. Start to bring your focus, your attention, and your awareness back to your physical body. You might want to start to wiggle your fingers or your toes, rub your hands together, your feet on the floor. You might want to stretch or yawn, get any additional kinks out of the body, any places where some energy might have gotten stuck, inviting it to flow through you. Just gently bring your attention and awareness back to us in the room right now so that we can gather together with the messages. And I just want to remind everybody that Yes, you receive messages just for you, but the messages that are given for the entire group represent aspects of ourselves and represent all of humanity. So when we listen to all the messages that are going out, we have that knowledge and wisdom that these are all messages for anybody we come in contact with. And so it gives us this space for more empathy and more compassion for others when we hear the messages that we all need to hear. So if you would like to receive a card reading, all you have to do is type in yes, please, and my co-pilot Rob will pop your name up. Tonight we are using the Peace Oracle, Guidance for Challenging Times by Toni, Carmine, Salerno. Sorry. And it just felt like a lot of people are having a challenging time right now. So it jumped off the shelf for me today. That's usually how it works for me. And let's see what the cards have to share with us. Nice. Amy, nice to have you with us. I love this one. It always reminds me of stained glass. This is the Awakening card. See the bright sun that's shining through? So the Awakening card is perfect for this time of year, and it's perfect anytime, really. But there's so much energy awakening right now on the planet. You know, we're in spring, things are starting to stretch and yawn and grow, which includes ourselves. And so lots of times in the spring, we have this energy of coming out of our winter hibernation. And in that, it's like the sun shining more brightly. It's our awareness that is also more in tune because we've had plenty of time to go inward, and now it's time to see what's out there in this beautiful world of ours. So what I'm getting for you is that, I'm seeing two things. I'm seing that teenager self who's like, I don't want to get up, and and you're hitting the snooze button over and over again. And that's how awakening can feel like too. It's like, I don't want to. But this is about really letting yourself open up and wake up parts of you that have been sleeping. So maybe look at some loves that you had when you were a child, or even, more recently that you haven't allowed yourself to have or experience. We get so serious on adulting that we take everything joyful and fun out of our experience. But part of the awakening is awakening that sense of wonder. When you're in that space where you're looking through the stained glass and seeing the bright light come through anyways. You don't have to see the light to know it's the sun. You can sense it, and you have that awareness. And that's true for our spiritual gifts. It's true for how our team communicates with us. And so start noticing what's coming and blooming for you. And maybe what has been maybe neglected over the winter or neglected recently. So find some ways to get inspired. Go out in nature, do some creative pursuits. And none of it's about doing. It's all about how we reach that place within us where life feels brand new. And we have that opportunity every single day we wake up. We wake up and we have a new day, and it's a new day filled with new possibilities. And our story isn't finished, and it's not written yet. So if you're not liking how your story's going, edit and let in those parts of you that have been screaming for attention, um, and maybe get a little more sleep. Because I keep seeing your inner teenager saying 5 more minutes, Mom. All right. Hope you have a great, wonderful week. Thanks for being here. Oh, I am so sorry you're having a difficult time, Bernadette. I've had a lot of physical pain recently, if that's what you're talking about too. And again, I feel like that's our growing pains. Um, so your card is action. Okay. So when we get the action card, and I think this is true, one of the things that causes us suffering is that sense of being frozen, and being in a place where we don't dare make a move because we don't know what's going to happen. And whether that's physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, it doesn't matter. That suffering that we have or endure is inviting us to change something. So for my physical pain, I've had a lot of difficulty with my knees and my hips. I was a dancer, and I really took a toll on my body, because, you push it to its extremes. And as part of that, now it's time for me to nourish and nurture my body. And the pain is a reminder that I have to take care of myself. And sometimes that's like, okay, I need to stretch more. I have to do my physical therapy exercises. Have I had enough water? Am I doing gentle movement? Because the inaction makes it difficult. It's pain is caused by things that are not in movement. And if you want to go deeper on any of that's what I do. That's what I do for a living, is I work with people and I help release that pain, release that suffering, especially for people who are having difficulty emotionally, but physically as well. I've worked with so many people in all stages and with all types of diagnoses. And so know that we don't have to suffer. The divine doesn't have that as our end game, right? The divine is inviting us to expand through any challenges and any pain that we've been feeling. And hope is the strongest feeling that we can use to heal ourselves. It's just holding on to the possibility that things can change and expanding the energy of trust within yourself. Trust that at some point you will see the lesson that has come through this. I've had times when the physical pain, especially, it was a sign for me. It was time for me to switch out of abusing my body physically as a dancer. Not that it was joyful and I I loved that, but it came to a point where I was having more pain than I was having joy. And often when we're in that suffering place, if we look at the life around us, we're having more suffering than we are having joy. And so we're here to have joy. We're here to share and experience love in all of its beautiful forms. And so what I'm getting for you is it's time to take some action, whether it's to get yourself connected to a healer, a good doctor, maybe a naturopath or a therapist of some sort, but maybe a acupuncturist, any of the holistic energy work can be helpful. And just remember that try to take one step every day towards a pain-free version of Bernadette. Just one little step. And even if that step is sitting down and putting your feet up and letting your body have a rest, that's listening. And that is recreating trust with your body and yourself, with your emotions and yourself, and inviting your spiritual team in to take care of it. Please help me with this. And if you would ever like healing sent to you, if you're friends with Rob on Facebook, he runs a wonderful group where they send healing to anybody who asks. So you can always ask. And I'll invite him to put the name of the group in the chat because it's open to anyone at any time. And some amazing healers connect with that and send to that every single day. So there you go, sweetheart. I hope you feel better and, reach out to me if you need some of my assistance. Yeah, it can be very difficult. I had a lot of post-traumatic stress myself. So, and a lot. And so, but you can definitely move through any of it. I've seen people move through any of it. And you got this. And we've got you. Yes, and friend Rob on Facebook. There you go. Thank you, Rob. Oh my goodness. There's my good friend Julie. Absolutely. Love having you here. Contemplation, my dear. I love this card. And I get big feels around it for you. You know how that is. So the contemplation card is really, again, it's another perfect card for spring. I mean, lots of times we do our contemplation in the winter and we can get really caught up in our thoughts. But the contemplation that happens in spring is like, it's about what do I want to plant in my garden? And by that, I mean the garden of your soul. What do you want to bloom and blossom? And whether that's, spiritual gifts that you are navigating or expanding, or maybe it's how you bring your gifts out into the world. Maybe you're looking at a shift in that. And so in this contemplation place, the question that comes to mind quite often is, what does my soul want me to know today? That is my automatic journal prompt that I write out almost every single day. What does my soul want me to know today? Want me to express today? And then I wait for whatever comes through. And for those of you who are new to automatic writing, we can get in our head and say, oh, well, that's just me and my imagination or whatever. But what happens is when you do it repeatedly, number one, the phrases come out and the words are put together in a way that you don't speak usually. And it's often a reflection of what's been sort of dinging in the back of your mind. So it hits home as the truth that it is. So it just pops through as that beautiful sense of, oh, there's a truth bomb. um, and so I'm seeing you going out in nature. I know you love to be out by the trees, maybe by some water. Bring some music that you can listen to or sing to, maybe your drum, and invite a gathering of your spiritual team to come in, a private powwow, for guidance, perspective, and ways to stretch and grow your spirit, ways to move outside of your comfort zone. And I know you're good at that. We all are. But you know as well as I do, there are times where we settle into what we're comfortable with. And then spirit goes, that's cute. It's time for you, time for an upgrade. So go into that heart space and really allow yourself to feel the answers. Because when the answers are true and they land, it's like our breath just lets out. And it really allows us to be in that place of like, that's what I needed to hear. So absolutely love it. You and I need to schedule my birthday reading. I have my big birthday coming up at the end of the month. I opt, for those of you who don't know Julie, she does amazing astrological readings, and I highly recommend her. And I do my yearly one with her every year. So I need to get her on my books. Thank you, Julie. I will talk to you very soon. Have a great week. And tarot. Yes. Oh, yes. And tarot readings. She does beautiful tarot readings. She's a master tarot reader. Deanna. Hello, emoji girl. Nice. So you got the healing card, and I'm trying to hold it in such a way. Can you see all the tornadoes? All the bubbles up top, but there's all these tornadoes, which I find really interesting considering the severe, tornado weather we've been having. And part of that is that when we're going through the healing process, we heal through all the elements. We heal through water. So, you might have seen the bubbles looking at the top. We heal through earth, having to ground it, having to do it in this reality. We also do it in fire, which there have been a lot of fires, not as many, knock on wood, lately, but we had a lot of fires not that long ago. And then we do it through air. And, the winds of change are blowing, right? And in some places, they're blowing a little out of control, right? But through all this, it's like I'm feeling that sensation that your healing work is it's spinning thoughts that are getting sort of pulled out of your field out. So there's actually a field of flowers on the bottom. So the spinning thoughts are like a tornado. We keep going around and around and around and around, and we can't focus, we can't connect. And so those are being pulled out of you and transmuted into water. And so as is being transmuted into water, the water energy is the pure emotional energy. So the difficulty is, from our aura perspective, our thoughts are in the third layer of our aura. And so when they're all agitated, they get heavy and they fall in on the second layer. And the second layer is our emotions. So, when we feel anxious, lots of times we start to have all these racing thoughts, right? And then it starts to activate emotions of that can feel like anxiety or overwhelm. It's that muchness, right? Because we're having our thoughts become heavier in their emotional state, but they're transmuting to water. And when they transmute into water, then we can have those spinning thoughts land in our physical body. Now, to move things out of our system, sometimes we have to bring them in to feel them, to be able to go, okay, I felt that, and now it's time for it to go. And this is all about really transmuting that air energy. So it's what I'm seeing is, when people are, we'll say they were talking with hot air or some I have trouble with that when I'm in channel mode, but it's like words that are spoken that don't quite have meaning. And so then we try to create meaning out of those words. And that can be crazy making because they may be random. The words may be random. And so part of it is like to reclaim your own thoughts. Like, whose thoughts are in there spinning? Who's creating tornadoes of thoughts inside of your head? There's a bunch on the planet right now who are like trying to create those spinning tornadoes of thoughts, because when we're caught in those spinning tornadoes of thoughts, we are not aware of our surroundings. We are not grounded. We are not focused. We're not letting our emotions guide us. We're allowing ourselves to get pulled out of our body, totally unaware of where we are, and we're just caught in this cycle. So to come out of that tornado energy, and it may even be showing up when I have tornado energy going on for me, it starts to also show up in my environment. I start to get messy. Not that I can't be messy anyways, but I start to see it. It happens in like my immediate area, and then it starts to expand throughout the house. So if you're noticing a little bit of a tornado out there, great time to start to clean it up so that it helps you ground those thoughts and bring it all back into the present moment, because that's where it will heal and how you will heal. And I feel like this is going to be a very quick process for you. So hold on to your hat for the next few days. And as we pull up on the new moon, it feels like you will be in this brand new energy. That's coming up. All right, my dear, have a great one. Yes. I'm so glad, Julie. Yes, the messages are feeding me too. And I'm writing down the private powwow. I like it. I've got a couple drums myself, and that would be really cool to bring that energy of bringing my whole team in. Nice. Thank you, dear. Thank you. All right. Let's see if we have anybody else tonight.
You having some difficulties with the video. Anybody who sees it, I'm on it.
Okay. That sounds good. All right, Kevin, let's see what we've got. Illumination. So, Kevin, your card is illumination. So, what I'm getting for you is that you're having this moment of darkness. We all go through the dark night of the soul, not once, not twice, but dozens of times in our lifetime, maybe even dozens of times in 1 year. And that's because the only way to see truth and inspiration and those sparks of divine connection is to illuminate your energy and your awareness when you're in those moments of darkness or when people are in moments of darkness around you. So, what's happening right now is think of all of your light, your joy, your happiness, that beautiful heart of yours. It's all gathering up inside. It's getting recharged energetically in your heart, in your body, waiting to burst forth, to shed light in the darkness, to bring hope and inspiration to many people. And I know you've felt this as you've been going through things, that there's a reason, right? There's a reason we go through things. And sometimes it's to be the voice for someone else. And because not everyone has somebody to speak for them, or they don't have the strength to speak for themselves. So just know that in this moment of gathering together all of your energy, bringing it all in, letting it percolate inside of you so that it can explode out, shedding hope and light to other people, that's how you become the beacon and the illumination. And it's coming sooner than later. Thank goodness. And the more you are centered in who you are and just centered in the here and now, the more quickly you move through the dark night of the soul. It's when we get fearful. It's when we get caught up in everybody else's thoughts and ideas that we get pulled out of that. But you are very good these days at being in the present moment, because in the present moment is the only place that healing takes place. And it's the only place where you truly reside. And when you're there, that's when your illumination beam can go bursting forward, and providing hope and inspiration to so many others. Love, love, love this card. Awesome. You have a great night, and I will see you very soon. Hello, Robert. I don't have the Fairy Tarot Oracle with me. My team picks a deck for the day, and today's is the Peace Oracle by Toni, Carmine, Salerno. But I will give you a message, and you can apply it. There's definitely a lot of fairy energy here. I have a fairy tree outside, and maybe that's why the fairy tree is showing up here. So this is the Gateway card. And the Gateway card is that our connection to the fairies and to the other side is as simple as being grounded in our own tree of life. So what happens is when we're balanced in our chakras, when we are in the present moment, as Spirit was sharing with Kevin, then we have all these connections to all the realms, to the fairies, to the sprites, to the divas, to the nature spirits, to the star beings, and the angels and our ancestors, to all that is. And in my messages, I always welcome communication from any realm that wants to come in. And what I'm seeing is that you have very strong connection to the nature spirits, and they are very strongly connected with you. And the gateway is, remember that the door opens both ways. They connect with you when you connect with them. And remember to knock on the door whenever you need it, or welcome in their playful energy to come in and assist you. And if you don't have an altar or a space where you are welcoming them in and let them feel invited, spring's the perfect time to do that. I'm expanding my fairy garden this spring. That's been part of my what I've been doing. And part of that is bringing in pieces of creativity, whimsy that the fairies love to play in. And it doesn't matter what time of year it is, we can connect to them through that gateway. And they're always present for us. And what I'm sensing is, you know that. But I think sometimes you forget to knock at the door. I think we all do. And let in Spirit, however Spirit wants to come in. And maybe even all the ways that Spirit can come in for our highest and best. Because then you might be opening the door to something even more mystical and magical than you've ever experienced before. Love that. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you being here. I hope you'll join us again. Stacy, nice to have you. This is the strategy card. You can see that the snake is going up the tree, not down the tree. Okay. So the strategy card is that whenever we're planning something, we need to be really grounded. Climb up the tree. The Kundalini flows up the tree, right? So that you reach up to the divine for inspiration. And that way it can blossom and bloom. And so what I'm getting for you is that, you have this fantastic connection to Spirit. That goes without saying. And an amazing connection to nature, and hearing it and knowing what nature needs, right? So part of what happens is here we are with our humanness, and we have two sides to our brain for a reason. Sometimes we need that logic brain to help us take steps forward in the direction our soul wants to go. And sometimes we need a plan and we need a strategy for that. And when we're in connection, we can get really juicy on all the feels, like, ooh, it feels so good. And we're talking to the tree and we're helping this plant. But we lose track of where we are in the physical moment of our humanness. So what I'm seeing for you is to have a plan. And it doesn't have to be, it can be a very flexible plan. And that is like an outline of how do I get from where I am right now to where I want to be at my soul's growth 5 years from now, 3 years from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, 6 days from now, whatever feels appropriate as a time piece to it. And remember, time is relative. But sometimes it's easier to think about something farther out because we can imagine that. But when it's really close, then we start getting all in our head around to-do lists, and then we freak out about whether we can do it in that amount of time. So what I'm sensing for you is it's time to sort of pull all of the energy that you have stored in your roots, all of it up your tree, fill your tree with inspiration, and use all of that to create a strategy for where does my soul want to be 5 years from now? How do I want to feel 5 years from now? How do I want my life to look 5 years from now? And see it and feel it and smell it and taste it until you embody it. And then every single day, do one thing in that direction. Whether it's just looking at a vision of what that is going to be, sitting in meditation, allowing yourself to journal how it's going to feel, and allowing it to be like, oh, I feel this, and oh, it's so nice not to worry about that. And that will help you gain momentum for bringing it to you more quickly, more easily, without struggle. Because right now it's the plan or the idea of how your soul wants to be it's not grounded enough. It's not rooted enough to become the sequoia that it's meant to be. It's a little bit shallow rooted right now, which is true for so many of us. All right, my dear. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Look forward to seeing you soon. I will see you, Kevin. And we'll see what if there's anyone else that Rob wants me to read for. And if not, I'll be reading for him soon. All right. All right, there's our signal. So here's Rob's card, our final card of the evening. This is the treasure card. Notice there are two eyes and that treasure in the middle. So what I'm getting as the card for you around the treasure is that, so many times we're, as humans, we need to see it to believe it. But the reality is we need to believe it to see it. And that messes so many of us up, right? So you're being invited to imagine and to look for the treasure that is hidden within you. What is hanging out in there, waiting to bring forth a richness of your soul, a richness of who you are. And it's connected to your inner sight, your inner wisdom, but it's also connected to your thoughts and beliefs around money. We all have them, right? And when we believe that money doesn't grow on trees, then it doesn't. But when we believe that the money is there and we see it and we sense it, then the money arrives, right? And we give money a lot of energy. It controls a lot of our lives. It controls a lot of our decisions. And when we allow money to abuse us in that way, then it doesn't flow. right? And it's not grounded, so it can't land in our bank account, or it can't land where we need it to. And I know this is messages for so many people, myself included. It's that energy of, you are a treasure. You are worth every penny on the planet. And can you allow that to be true for you? And your untapped potential. You have this hidden treasure chest that can equate financially to bring in abundance, so that there's no more life stresses. And it's welcoming in that sense of, you are a treasure. Will you allow yourself to be the treasure that you are meant to be? That's what we all need, right? So with that, you guys, I'm so glad you were here joining us this evening. It's been lovely having you. And we're here every Tuesday night. You're welcome, Stacy, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Trinity Temple of Sacred Wisdom YouTube channel. Like us, subscribe, all of those great things that Rob posts that you need to do. And again, if you are in need of any healing energy to be sent to you, or for someone that you love or care about, send a friend request to Rob, because his healing group does amazing healing prayers every single day of the week. And nothing's too big. The divine will heal anything. Nothing's too big and nothing's too small. So with that, guys, thank you for being here and helping me with my soul's mission of being the messenger of divine healing light. And with that, bye for now.